Okay, we're filming. Excellent. Everyone, please take your seats, take your cake. We should probably shut the door after people come in. Speech? So that we don't disturb the neighbors too much. What kind?
Well, they're already.
What is this?
Oh, God.
Very, very. I am really thrilled to see. Well,
No, tape is here.
oh, wait. Okay. So, ladies, gentlemen, and other assorted guests, I would like to welcome you to the 4th Annual Cake Awareness Conference. Thank you very much for coming. I'd like to first of all call your attention to the cake, to make you all aware of it. It is on that table back there. We have drinks. We fully, as the foundation, encourage guests to continue eating cake throughout the evening, not just at the breaks. The breaks are largely, free to acting and such things that would otherwise be here. That being one announcement, I would also like to give a shout out to the people who did not make it this year. We have a number of people who really wanted to. Unfortunately, I didn't write down their names, so I can't list them personally. But I definitely know that we had at least 5 people who really wanted to make it and could not. So shout out to them. I'd also like to shout out.
Eating cake in the conference is honor.
I hope so. I can only hope.
At least virtual cake on Facebook?
Yes, that's a good idea. I think that you should definitely.
At all of them. Remember we used to be able to poke people?
That's true. I had forgotten about that.
You can still poke people.
Yeah, but you can't repeat them.
No, you can't.
I would also like to give a shout out to my friend Sheppy, whose birthday is today. She's not here, unfortunately. She's in America. She's one of the people who couldn't make it. But I wanted to just, make sure to mention that birthday. And to anyone else who has birthdays around now, including my loving husband, Marla Feldman, who has a birthday this week. So as is traditional, we wish everyone with birthdays in the nearby vicinity happy birthday. So, oh wait, a couple more small public service announcements and things. I would just like to remind everyone that we have requested a 5 shekel donation. It is a donation, it is voluntary, but it will help us pay for many of the amenities that you see before you that are not cake, such as plates and forks and drinks and such. So we would very much appreciate your support if you would like to give it. We have a donations dish on the cake table. So feel free to deposit your money there.
Right there.
One that Papa is shaking.
Yep.
Also, we do have footage from previous cake conferences. Unfortunately, we have managed never to get around to making copies of it, even though we keep meaning to every year. So, what we would like is anyone who is interested in receiving a copy of any of the previous cake conferences on the
and or actually being notified of the next cake conference.
and or being notified of the next cake conference by email and not by Facebook, or otherwise. If you would like to be on our mailing list, we have a sign-up sheet where you can put your name, number, and email, and we will be able to contact you, which is really important when we're sending you things. So, yes, we want the freedom to spam you with anything.
About cake.
About cake.
About cake?
Yes.
Now that would be
That sounds
interesting.
really awful, but we accept all types of cake.
We are non-discriminatory.
And we do not judge. So that previous remark was in no way connected to the foundation. That was just my personal feeling on the subject. So we've had an eventful past year. This past year has been marked by many upheavals and revolutions throughout the world. And I think what everyone is wondering is, what is CAPE's role in the events of the past year? I mean, does it just sit on the sidelines and passively watch while people fight for their freedom and elect governments that are actually just as exploitative as the ones they just toppled? Or do they get involved in some way? And it seems to have been overlooked in a lot of these protests. In last summer's tent protests throughout the country, we didn't really hear much about CAPE. We heard lots about cottage cheese. But cottage cheese does not a CAPE make, necessarily.
I thought you said you didn't discriminate against cakes.
Necessarily.
On its own.
Cottage cheese it has overlapping attributes with cake sometimes, but it is not in itself identical. Can you tell I'm an academic? So
It's sort of
significantly, the use of social networking sites and smartphones to rally the public behind these causes has not been overlooked. In promoting cake awareness, we have fully utilized Facebook. In that sense, we have a Twitter hashtag for promoting cake awareness. And gradually our message is spreading. In fact, our international branches have expanded. Those of you who were here last year may recall that we now have a Baltimore division of the Cake Awareness Foundation. And it will be holding its second annual Baltimore Cake Awareness Conference on February 25th. So if anyone is in the Baltimore vicinity on February 25th, that's a Shabbat. It's on Watsash. Then they should feel free to stop by my parents' house where it will be.
Should we call for him?
Maybe to find out where my parents' house is. That might help. But in addition to that, in addition to having a Baltimore division of the Cake Awareness Foundation, we have received word that a fan of the foundation and of the conferences has decided to hold a Cake Awareness Conference in Houston. I have not yet heard the details. I don't know when it was scheduled for. I assume that I will hear more as the event develops. Yes. Yes, I'll mention the name of the person even, Jacob Hellman, who is really doing excellent work in promoting cake awareness. Now, on the subject of people who are promoting cake awareness, for the first time this year, as I mentioned in the emails that I sent out to people, we will be handing out awards of excellence in promoting cake awareness at the end of this conference at about 10:35, if all goes as half an hour late as we're going. And so that is upcoming. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. Does our hostess Shannon Kish? We have to give many thanks to Shannon. Shannon has no words.
I have no words, it's true.
to express her comments. And so in her name, I will say, please try and keep her house clean, because she has been very gracious in letting us hold the conference here. So please don't fling cake at the walls. Generally maintain order and